Hi guys, welcome to the Truth Factor. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible. I'm going to end this and then we're going to do Bible. I was only going to do Bible tonight, but they're just too much not to bring to you because a lot of this we'll be praying about. And I want you guys, I don't like reading the headlines when I do Bible unless it has to do with Bible prophecy, which this is huge Bible prophecy, I do believe, but again, there's still that line that I don't like getting into. But anyway, so immediately after I do this stream, we're going to do our prayer for tonight, and I'm going to try and read James 10. So, not been feeling too hot tonight, guys. Some stomach issues. That's what's kept me in bed all day. Just so that's why we haven't been going live, because I would have already been live sound the alarm a long time ago. Just whenever you're under the weather, you're under the weather, right? Anyway, glory be to God. I'm still kicking it, and we got to do Bible, so we're gonna make this video as quick as possible because I really want to get into Bible. What the heck? I really want to get into. Okay. Anyway, hey, Drain. See, what is it? Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Well, when my stomach is like this, the only thing that this chick does is chicken noodle soup and 7-Up or ginger ale. I can't do anything else. So that's what I have to do. It's been my go-to. Hey, Carol, how are you, honey? It's been my go-to. So anyway, that being said, let's get into these headlines, guys. Like I said, there's just a few I want to cover really quick. A lot of stuff has been taking place today. We'll try and hit on just a little bit of it really quick, like guys. I get the right one. Okie dokie, guys. All right. So we're going to start with this one here. Kind of sums really everything up. Hal Turner says Black Flag is risen on Razavi Shrine. Islam is going to all-out war. Now, I think my son said that this was raised on the 23rd, but I don't know. I haven't gone and looked it out. But it says with the bombing of Al-Ahli Baptist Hospital in Gaza, which killed over 500 and is being blamed on Israel and the U.S., the Black Flag is risen on Razavi Shrine in Mashhad, Khorasan Province in Iran, shown above. This is an Islamic scripture. When the black flag comes from the Khorasan, go to them, even if you have to crawl on snow, for among them is the Khalifa from Allah, the Mahdi, Abda al-Alam in the Mahada Allah Mansar. In the image below, a workman raises the black flag atop the shrine. This is the scripture based on the Quran, call to all of Islam for war. As far as I know, this is the sign of an alert of the people of Mashhad, Iran, that coming days might be heard. So be prepared to fight any circumstances. Imam Reza, a shrine is the center of attention and respect to all living in Iran. And so any major announcements are done there. According to Hadith, the prophetic tradition or report, the black flag was the battle flag of the Prophet Muhammad, and it was carried into battle by many of his companions. The image of the black flag has been used as a symbol of religious revolt and engagement in battle. This is October 17th. It says a black flag over the Imam Reza Mosque. The first time in history. If anyone knows what this means, please write. It's a call for war, Gaza genocide. Even the president of Iran, Ibrahim Lahazi has spoken of it. The flames of U.S. Israeli bombs dropped tonight on innocent Palestinians being treated for injuries in Gaza's hospital will soon engulf the Zionists. No free human being silence is permissible in the face of such a war. So far, the government of Iran, Syria, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Palestine, Egypt, Jordan, Turkey, and Qatar have all banned the Israeli Air Force for the blamed the Israeli Air Force for the explosion at the Al Hali Arab Baptist Hospital. The group Hezbollah, blaming Israel and the USA, has called for a day of rage worldwide tomorrow. Hezbollah's statement on the Day of Rage: this massacre at the Al-Mahadan Hospital massacre is a continuation of the previous massacre since the establishment of this criminal usurping entity in Deir Yassin, Hula, Sabra, and Shatila. This massacre is in addition to the previous. The call for war has been heard. In Istanbul, the Israeli embassy is being stormed. Here's a video. Let me see. Probably need to stop it because you probably aren't being able to hear them. Not that you really can understand what they're saying, but I will let you guys. Let me stop this, and I gotta hit that slide over that. Here we go. To share it so you guys can hear it anyway. We'll turn it up just a little bit. Okay. Like I said, you can't really understand what they're saying. We'll go ahead and turn it back down, but so you understand. And here is Beirut, Lebanon. Lebanon protesters outside the U.S. Embassy. Chaos, terror, gas, rocks.
Where protests have been taking place in support of Palestinians.
Yes, we're on air.
Yes, we are on air, Zaina. If it's safe to do so, certainly tensions are high. What's happening?
Yes, Emily, I'm really sorry. Yes, it's
Not
very
at all.
chaotic
Go
here
on.
outside
Just
the
tell us
perimeters of
what's
the
happening.
U.S. Embassy. Yes. Yes, well, protesters have been trying to break through the security barrier outside the embassy. They're throwing stones. I have to move to the side. And, oh, damn. Take cover. Tear gas up.
Zaina, are you okay to continue?
Move up, move up. Emily, I'm really sorry about this.
No, not at all. You need to get to safety.
Right in front of us. Sorry.
Why don't we just let you get to a safe position? Zaina, we'll let you get to a safe position, and I'll cross back to you when we have a moment. In the meantime, Abdel Hamid Siam, we're seeing protests breaking out across the Arab. Where protests.
Okay, so there's that. Then we have Barcelona, Spain. Wow. It just looks like a handful of them, but they're attacking the cops.
Oh my God, the police are getting out. The police are going to start shooting us.
Got it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Where's your mom? Oh my God. No one is free.
Looks kind of crazy there. Turkey, hundreds of vehicles are heading to Kursik radar base in Malata, Turkey, where U.S. soldiers are stationed. That's not good. the base already, or thousands of protesters are being hit with tear gas by police trying to stop them from storming the base.
Kıyam zamanı. Bu bir kıyam zamanı. Taş atma. Askere taşma. Otelleri bir araştırma getir.
Okay, then back at the scene at the hospital blast. We can't understand them, so I'm not gonna play it. I just the noise is just too much, guys. What are they laughing about? It says a Palestinian father holds the remains of his son body parts as he was torn into pieces at the latest Israeli airstrike. It looked like they were laughing. I don't know. Anyway, from the U.S. military experts with whom I've spoken, the general consensus is it was well known that Hamas had operations and weapons storage areas in the sub-basement of the hospital and tunnels connected to CBS. 60 Minutes even did a segment talking about it in the late 2000s. The Israelis gave a notice and a warning that this hospital was going to be targeted well in advance. Rockets were launched against Israel shortly before the bomb arrived from the very spot it hit. General consensus is that it was hit by a U.S. JDAM. The arrival sound is unique. Question is who fired it, Israel or the U.S. Navy? And then this person, then he says it was a JDAM. It says proof that Israel bombed it. Yeah.
Bombs away. I'll get my arm blown off.
Oh, wow. Well, that sounds pretty convincing to me. I mean, I can't say that it was the same. And then who says that what they left in Afghanistan, that they couldn't have ended up with it? Just saying. We know that they left a lot of equipment. I don't know what kind of other stuff they left in Afghanistan. So we're not going to say what people may have gotten their hands on too. But it doesn't look like it's going in the right direction. Tonight, Iran's foreign minister told assembled media, time is up. Here's Hal's remarks. Now, guys, you guys know he can go all in on certain things, right? Folks, this is shaking me to the very core. I now believe peace has been taken from the whole earth. I earnestly hope you have prepared. I suspect and deeply fear this shockwave of anger will reverberate around our entire planet. None of us is safe. Get right with God, clean your guns, zero their sights, prepare mentally. There is no telling where this anger will erupt or who will be attacked when it does. You must be ready to protect yourself, your family, and your property against all who would do harm. Do not initiate violence. Merely prepare mentally and physically to do what it must be done in the event you are attacked. Update at 8:30, as shown on the video below. The United Nations peacekeepers forces in Lebanon, the UNIFIL, are urgently evacuating all their bases. Word on the ground over there is that a full-scale war begins tonight.
اليونيفيل بلشوا يطلعوا من الجنوب هلا ضبوا كل اغراضهم وطلعوا.
Well, if you are wanting to try to plan something larger, what would you do? If you're wanting other actors to get involved, what would you do? And Carol says, looks like a misfire. It was seemingly being sent from the stronghold of the hospital, was sent towards Sadat, and that the one only went a short distance. That's pretty serious firepower. It was indeed. Absolutely. Anyway, rage is already spinning out of control. The video below is from Tehran, Iran, at 3 a.m. their time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. Yeah. And here is Baghdad, Iraq. All right, Cairo, Egypt, making our way around the world. Like and everywhere tonight. I'm not going to play the whole video, guys. Well, just jumping around. The crowd is growing. Seems like a lot of people getting out there. Okay, so flash. Embassies are under attack. 8:43 p.m. Eastern time. Attacks are currently being reported at Israeli embassy in Turkey, Israeli embassy in Jordan, U.S. embassy in Lebanon, embassy in Iraq, French embassy in Iran, the British embassy in Iran. Iran's government declares tomorrow, Wednesday, a day of mourning across the country, strongly condemns the attack on a hospital in Gaza, urges Muslim countries to sever ties with Israel and expel its ambassadors from Gaza. The score, I can't play anything that has scores of bodies, so I'm not going to play that, but this article is in the Wixit. If you want to play this, you can. And he's going to stop because he's doing a show tonight, which he's already live right now, I guess. But anyway. Then we have also from Hal Turner, and this is the thing about the hospital, the 500 plus dead. At least 500 people are known to be dead after Israeli allegedly targeted out Gaza Baptist Hospital with an airstrike developing. The Israeli armed forces say they are looking into what caused the explosion at the hospital. They are suggesting Hamas missile may have fallen short. Below is a raw video of what is said the actual missile struck. In the video, the deep rumble of a warplane engines can be heard. There was no ammo.
Ya Allah, Ya Allah.
The footage from the Baptist Hospital massacre, ground footage. I'm not going to play it, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter what blew up the hospital. That'll be for the intel people, and we'll find out in 30 years. Right now, everyone involved has already made up their mind and will be reacting accordingly. There is now a video footage, which, if true, seems to prove the missile which struck the hospital was misfiring Hamas. Um, he says the update, the footage allegedly showing the missile misfire, is from 3 years ago. So, as you are all aware, there is an awful lot of deception and international misdirection going on in this war situation. Endeavoring to get the facts is a very hard process right now, doing the best that he can to be factual. So, obviously, there's a lot of stuff coming in and going out. You don't know, we're not there. We have to wait on whatever reports come out. We have to, trust that what we receive is truth, and rely on discernment. Israel Defense spokesperson Daniel Haggerty says Israel's verifying reports of a strike on a hospital in Gaza. Haggerty says he does not have all the information yet, and further details will be provided when possible. He does say that he does not know yet if the blast reportedly causing hundreds of casualties was an Israeli strike. There's a lot of airstrikes, a lot of failed rockets, and a lot of fake reports by Hamas. Times of Israel quoted Admiral Harry as saying the Palestinian President Mohammed Abbas has declared 3 days of mourning for the victims of a strike on the hospital in Gaza Strip, WFA reported. And then we have from War News 247, Israel says leave Turkey immediately. The Israeli embassies in Ankara, Jordan, and other Arab countries are under siege, and chaos is in the Middle East. Israel has called on its citizens to leave Turkey immediately as there are serious incidents against Israeli diplomatic missions around the world. In Jordan, Turkey, angry Muslims besiege Israelis' embassies and consulates. Serious incidences are taking place in Amman, Jordan, where protesters stormed the compound of the Israeli embassy to express their anger and the attack that killed hundreds of people at a hospital in the Palestinian city of Gaza. The protesters bypassed the roadblock of the security forces and proceeded towards the embassy premises. Security forces used tear gas to disperse them. Iran, Iraq, and Lebanon, along with other Arab Muslim countries, are declaring tomorrow a day of mourning. The Palestinians also rise up in the West Bank, where they demand a change of leadership and the removal of Abbas. The Israeli embassy in Jordan is on fire. Demonstrators stormed the Israeli embassy building in Amman, Jordan. They're condemning the massacre at the hospital. And then a massive demo in Turkey. There's a lot of people, guys. Demonstrations besieged the headquarters of the Israeli embassy in Ankara, Turkey. They're condemning the Baptist hospital massacre. I don't know if you'll get to see it or not, but we'll try and look at it real quick. Doesn't seem to be any sound, but that's all you get to see. All right. Then at these moments at the Israeli consulate in Istanbul, Israel's National Security Council leave Turkey issued a statement, calls on Israelis to leave Turkey immediately. The announcement from Tel Aviv was made known late Tuesday night, and while Recep Erdogan called on international community to intervene to stop the unprecedented brutality, and he described the Israeli attacks on Gaza. The National Security Council says it is raising the alert for Turkey to 4 and calling on Israelis in the country to leave as soon as possible. For Morocco, the threat level is raised to 2, and Israeli tourists are asked to be extra careful. Violent clashes erupted in Ramallah, home to the Palestinian Authority, as Palestinian police fired tear gas and stun grenades to disperse angry protesters chanting slogans against President Mohammed Abbas. Clashes between protesters and Palestinian security forces broke out tonight in other cities of the occupied West Bank, according to Reuters news agency, citing Eyewitness News. Anger is overflowing in the Palestinian territories after a hospital in Gaza was bombed in the 11th day of Israeli airstrikes in the besieged enclave. Authorities in the Gaza Strip, where Hamas has been in power since '07, said hundreds of people were killed in the shelling of Al Hali Hospital, with at least 500 feared dead. Attempted breach at the Israeli embassy in Jordan. We've already seen that. Protesters have reportedly set fire to the Israeli embassy in Jordan. Abbas, the Palestinian leader Abbas, is withdrawing from the four-way meeting scheduled for Wednesday with Biden, which we already knew that. The American president visits his first objective as expressing U.S. support to Israel. At the same time, with the presence in the Middle East, Biden will seek to exert pressure on the parties involved so the retaliation has the smallest possible civilian casualties. However, in light of the new developments after this massacre at a hospital for Gaza hospital, for which the Palestinians blame Israel, and withdrawal of Abbas from quadpartite, Biden's diplomatic attempt to resolve the crisis seems to be falling on deaf ears. Regardless, this is a very dangerous mega event, Ramallah now. And I ask humanity to take action to stop this unprecedented brutality, the Turkish president added. The massacre at the Baptist Hospital is a new turning point, and the flood that will be added at the Al-Aqsa flood. The enemy has no respect for values, laws, customs, or legislation. The enemy is delusional if he thinks these massacres will cover his resounding defeat or induce other people to surrender. The resistance continues and will not stop until the conqueror leaves our land. Hania also said in this message. Former Hamas leader Khaled Mashal has called for protesters in front of the Israeli embassies around the world following an Israeli attack on Gaza, a hospital that killed hundreds of Palestinians, a statement issued by Hamas this evening. An analysis of the IDF operational system shows that a barrage of rockets was fired by terrorists in Gaza, passing close to a hospital at the Gaza at the time it was hit. Information from multiple sources in our hands indicate that the Islamic Jihad movement is responsible for the failed rocket launch that hit the hospital in Gaza. The whole world should know the barbaric terrorists attacked the hospital in Gaza, not the IDF. Those who brutally murdered our children are also murdering their own children. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau called the bombing in the hospital a heinous and absolute unacceptable. Speaking to reporters, the Canadian Prime Minister condemned the attack, saying it is unacceptable to hit a hospital. And Iran's foreign ministry has condemned the Israeli strike on the hospital, which killed the injured hundreds of unarmed and defenseless people. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Qatar speaks to dangerous escalation of the Israeli attacks in Gaza Strip, pointing out the hospital, schools, and urban centers are now being affected. Let's see. That's it. Anyway. Then we have this here from War News 247, a massive explosion at a Russian airbase. Ukrainian surprises attack with the ATACMS missiles and cluster munitions. Operation Dragonfly, the most serious blow received by the Russian Air Force so far. Ukraine first hit Russian airbase in Berdyansk and Lugansk, causing significant casualties. Some Russian sources even talk about 8 to 10 destroyed helicopters of all types. Zelensky confirmed a while ago the attack was carried out using American ATACMS missiles. According to the Russian MGM-140B ATACMS Block 1A, missiles were used. The missile contains 275-300 M74 submunitions already at the point of impact and is capable of hitting targets up to 300 kilometers. So I guess they're getting their money's worth, huh? Ukraine said today that if struck Russian airfields in Berdyansk and Lugansk with long-range weapons overnight, destroying helicopters and other military equipment of Russian forces. As the WSJ reports, the attack was carried out for the first time on the American long-range ATACMS missiles. On the evening of October 17th, the Armed Forces of Ukraine carried out a successful strike on helicopters and airfield equipment of the Russian occupation forces in the temporarily occupied Lugansk and Berdyansk, the Ukrainian military said in a statement. He also claimed that Russian forces suffered casualties in the operation code named Dragonfly. An aircraft known to be based by the Russian Air Force at Berdyansky airfield include the Ka-52 and Mi-8 attack helicopters and Mi-24 and Mi-28 helicopters. Russian Telegram channels, several Ukrainian accounts, and U.S. media initially reported the attack was carried out by the ATACMS missiles, which were delivered by the U.S. to Ukraine. Officially, no such delivery has been announced. However, the WSJ reports that the shipment was made just a few days ago. Joe Biden was hesitant to send these missiles to Kyiv, but after his meeting with Ukrainian president in Washington late September, he seems to have made the crucial decision. You think? Crazy stuff. It is the first public admission of the use of the U.S. weapon systems, which allows Ukraine to strike at a distance of more than 150 kilometers. In a television message on Tuesday, Zelensky said that our agreement with Biden was fulfilled very precisely at the ATACMS showed it themselves. Berdyansk is about 85 kilometers from the nearest from line, while Luhansk is almost 100 kilometers away. Anyway. A large number of the explosions are reported, as well as losses of both personal and equipment. There were losses in equipment and people, while damages was caused to the airport infrastructure. It's not a good day. The Ukrainians attacked our airfield at night, where the Army Air Force was stationed with the ATACMS missiles. One of the worst blows ever to the northern military district. It's not the most serious. There are losses in both people and technology. According to eyewitnesses, up to 40 explosions were heard. The Rybar channel reported, according to the updated information, the Ukrainian armed forces hit the airport in Berdyansk not only with the ATACMS, as indicated by fragments of the M74 cluster munition, but also with the GLSDB missiles. As a result, the combined attack and ammunition depot was hit, with several helicopters suffered varying degrees of damage. And there's quite a few of these lovely little videos and from Twitter. Anyway, looks like a lot of attacks have been taking place tonight, right? We also have the first speaker vote, a bust for Jordan. He loses by 20 votes, I guess. He's still waiting on 20 holdouts. I think this is a travesty, in my opinion. I think they need to get behind him and stop all this madness. Anyway, then there is this here about the judge giving Trump a gag order that is in the section for your eyes only, for you to take a look at. I'm so beside myself with all of this stuff, guys. I'm just not even playing. It's crazy stuff that's taking place, and it just is absolutely insane. And we will be praying tonight for the families that have experienced loss of life in this very tragic incident. I mean, I can't imagine why anybody would attack a hospital, except for strategically, if you were trying to get somebody else drawn into this, this would definitely be the way to go, right? What is wrong, Avery? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. We have Avery. What?
What you do with?
What is it?
What you do with?
Just a second, guys. Okay, anyway, we're going to go ahead and end the stream here, guys. I've got...
Whose story is this?
It's mine.
Can I have it?
Yeah. We're going to do Bible here in just a second. As soon as I get Avery calmed down. Yeah, I hear you. I don't think that's happening, but you never know. I have a question, a serious question for everybody. Are stink bugs like bad where you guys are? I've never seen a stink bug until I moved to Indiana. And since we've moved here, it's kind of crazy. Just as soon as it starts to cool off, before it gets to before it gets real cold, we have this massive takeover of stink bugs. They scare the heebie-jeebies out of me. And it seems we've done everything we can do, but they still, you'll have floaters come in the house. If you squish them, they stink. It's horrible. It's called the bagrata bug. Well, I call it a stink bug because they stink, let me tell you. Anyway, if anybody has any hidden magic stuff to get rid of them, please tell me, because I'm tired of them flying in here. Because when they fly on you, they freak you out, and you just got to get rid of them. Anyway, I know it's gonna, as soon as it gets cold, they'll be gone. But until it gets really cold, we're stuck with these stupid things. And they'll get in your car and everywhere. They're everywhere, guys, and it doesn't matter where you go. You can be at Walmart getting in the car and there'll be a stink bug. It's crazy. Anyway, anybody has any solutions, let me know. Anyway, I love y'all. Yep, they're a Chinese stink bug. Well, those Chinese have some very nasty little bugs that just get on my nerves. Anyway, we'll be back in about, say, 5-10 minutes. We'll do James 10, and we're going to have prayer tonight. And we are going to pray for peace. And we need to really pray, guys. And I know that a lot of you may not pray, but I'm telling you, better get right with God, because as you see the things that are taking place, if you don't think that things can't pop off here, think again. I'll have to see about finding this one article, if I can find it. There was an article that I shared earlier about, it was a thing on Twitter, I think. Not really an article, but a thing on Twitter about some police officers with some gag things about a situation that happened in California. Pretty crazy stuff, guys. Pretty crazy stuff. Anyway, I love y'all. We'll be back in a few minutes with prayer and with James chapter 10, guys. Anyway, God bless y'all. We'll see you in a few.